This is Charlie Key. You are listening to the Be a Light podcast. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden." Today, my guest is Miss Cherokee Rose, Carley Vogel. Carley is an incredible singer, actress, dancer. She founded Love Your Liver, Love Yourself, and she's just the definition of an overcomer, and I can't wait for you all to meet her. Thank you for joining me today. The question of the Be a Light podcast is why, because I believe our whys drive us to perform at 100% at what we do. So you are a very accomplished woman. You founded your Love Your Liver, Love Yourself. You are attending Montclair State University, pursuing a musical theater degree, and you're involved in the Miss America organization. So I want to know, what is your why for doing all these things?
So first of all, my why for my Love Your Liver, Love Yourself platform in the Miss America organization is about 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis, which is a rare chronic liver disease. And I've had many different platforms through my years in the Miss America organization. It started off as a tune in a balloon, soon evolved to Children's Miracle Network because I am a miracle child through them. And then it's now mainly focused on teaching my followers on Instagram and teaching, I guess everyone how to love their liver, but also love themselves. So my why is just, proving to people that most people really think that when they look at somebody and think that they have a liver disease, they most of the time associate it with, excessive use of alcohol or opioids or something like that. But it can happen to anybody. Like it can happen to me. It can happen to, young kids. And so I like to call it, my invisible disease. When you look at me, you wouldn't be able to tell. But once you get to know me and I get to talking more, then you soon find out. So my why would 100% be, just teaching others how to maintain a healthy liver so that, what happened to me will never happen to anybody.
I love that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how and when did you found Love Your Liver, Love Yourself?
So it's very new. Through the Miss America organization, my platform for a long time was Children's Miracle Network. Through my years as being a teen and then kind of transitioning over into Miss. So I founded Love Your Liver, Love Yourself. Oh gosh, probably early 2019, like late 2018. I started my work with the American Liver Foundation and slowly just wanted to, partner with them and become a patient advocate for their organization. So that's definitely like my new my new goal is to, fundraise for them and keep the spotlight on them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when were you diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis and how has that impacted your life?
So I was diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis when I was 12. I'm now 20. I'll be 21 in October. So roughly about 8-9 years I've had this disease. And this has impacted my life tremendously, but in so many positive ways. You would think that it would be a lot of negatives, but it's really been more positives than negatives. Although I was, on the transplant ward, thought I was, on my deathbed.
Wow.
Thought that I was going to have a transplant. I'm so blessed that wasn't my case. Most people with my disease have to have a transplant. And I walked away with, daily medication and the same liver that I've had, my 20 years of being alive. So, I'm very blessed and I feel very blessed to, have gone through all these experiences and it's definitely been more positives than negatives. And I get to, promote my platform in the Miss America organization, which is a big positive.
That's incredible. And I love how you look on it positively instead of negatively, because a lot of people, when we go through struggles like that, we tend to look at the negative side. But I think every trial that we go through in our lives can be turned into something good. And we can use it to help others like you are doing. So you attended the American Liver Foundation's Leadership Conference in New York City. So what was the most important thing that you learned there?
Oh gosh, it was an amazing experience. I was a full-time student in New Jersey. This was right before COVID hit, so we were there.
Wow.
We were there like 2 or 3 days before they shut everything down and crazy just started to erupt in the world.
Yeah.
But the main thing I learned there was that there's not really enough research done on all of the different liver diseases, and so that and all these different bills that go into this. So what I really learned was that I wanted to step up and, fundraise for American Liver Foundation so that they could take their fundraising dollars and put it towards specific diseases that they wanted to, personally fundraise and, help have more research towards them. So that's the main thing I learned.
Yeah, that's incredible. And that's awesome that, that was just right before everything shut down, like perfect timing. So how long have you been involved in the Miss America organization?
This will be my 5th year. I started in 2016, I believe. I was Miss Cobb County's Outstanding Teen, and I started in the Outstanding Teen program and was did it for about 3 years, and then transitioned immediately over into the Miss. I loved it so much that I didn't want to stop, so I kept going.
Yeah.
And I've kept going. Obviously, COVID has kind of put a little break in everybody's plans, but I've kept pursuing this because this is something that I believe that I'm very passionate about. And, I think that the Miss America organization, although they have gone through a lot of changes over the past couple of years, I still think it's an incredible organization. It's the largest scholarship provider for women in the country. They're all about empowering women. And I think that it's awesome in today's society. I think that sometimes women can be belittled. And I think that it's amazing that an organization is all about empowering women.
Absolutely. And I love how you've been involved with it for so long, because that it really does show you how much this organization means to people like us and how much it helps us grow. And I remember even being a Miss Georgia Princess and I saw you do your talent and I just thought, wow, that girl can sing. And so it's crazy the impact that you make and you don't even realize it just by being involved with this organization.
Right.
So what's the most important thing this organization has taught you?
I believe that the most important thing this organization has taught me is there are many things that this organization has taught me, to be honest with you. The main one being public speaking skills. I mean, sitting here in front of you today, 5 years ago, my speaking skills were not as polished as they are now.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing that that the Miss America organization has taught me is motivation, is staying motivated, especially, being, in the middle of a global pandemic. Nobody planned for this to happen. Nobody wanted this to happen. I feel like I think a lot of people became unmotivated because a lot of people were, in quarantine in their houses, not able to leave. So I think that being involved in this organization has really kept me motivated and really allowed me to make great strides in not only my life, but also my professional career. Now that I'm attending Montclair State, they've placed thousands of dollars towards my college education, and I will be forever grateful for that, because that's one of the main reasons why I'm competing is for scholarship money.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. And this organization, it's like it allows me to be a part of something that's bigger than myself, which is just an experience that I will always be grateful for. So what is your biggest tip for competing in the Miss America organization?
Oh gosh, nobody's ever asked me this.
It's a loaded question.
I know, and you'd think that I would be asked this before. Oh my gosh. I would say the main tip that the best piece of advice I ever received, becoming involved in this organization and competing, especially at Miss Georgia, or especially at a state or national level, is stay in your own lane. You can only compete with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And walking into Miss Georgia, I know we both check in on Friday. I can only compete with Carley. I have to walk on that stage and, stay in my own lane. I can't be in my car looking in, Charlie's car and be in my lane,
Yeah.
So I remind myself daily that this is a very subjective thing that I've gotten myself into. It's 5 people's opinions, and, everybody wants the opportunity to represent Georgia or whatever state they're able to compete in. But, we walk away with so many tools in our toolkit after competing in this organization or being involved in this organization. And we also walk away with friendships that last a lifetime. I know that, we'll stay connected forever. And, multiple friends that I've made through this organization will stay connected forever. So I guess the main advice that I would give to anybody would be, obviously become involved because it's a great organization.
Yes.
And secondly, stay in your own lane and compete with you.
Absolutely. And I think, if we spend so much time looking around and seeing what everybody else is doing, that we're not growing ourselves personally. And so I think that's very important. And anything that we do in life is just, focus on being the best person that you can be, because that's all that we can do, and just be the person that God made you to be.
Right.
So on your social media platforms, you give daily tips on how to keep a healthy liver. So what is your number one tip?
Oh goodness. My number one tip is to become an organ donor. I think that's something that's really important. Even when you sign up to, or even when you go and take your driver's license test, they ask you, do you want to become an organ donor after all the fun, your height, your weight, your eye color stuff. They ask you, do you want to become an organ donor? I think that if a family member is unfortunately in a fatal accident and they pass away, they can still, give life to other people that are in need and donate those organs that are still, that are still good and still able to be donated to others. So I think that's my main tip. I think each tip is super important, and I hope that all my followers are really like listening in and honing on. But I would say that that's the main tip that I would give to anybody.
Yeah. And I'm only 15, so all I have is my learner's permit right now. But even then, they ask you if you want to be an organ donor, and I am. So following the tips. So you partner with the American Liver Foundation. So what is this organization, and what has it done for you?
So I actually found out about the American Liver Foundation through my hepatologist, Miriam Voss at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Awesome.
And he directed me to Tom Nealon, who is the president and CEO of the American Liver Foundation. I soon then, we evolved our relationship, and I became involved with the American Liver Foundation. I was the 2019 Flavors of Atlanta patient honoree and advocate. And in that one night, we fundraised $20,000 for the American Liver Foundation. So this organization means so many things to me, and I just feel so blessed to be an advocate for them. And I feel so blessed to be, like I said, there are so many positives that have come with my disease, and this is really one of the positives.
Yeah, that is incredible. So switching gears a little bit, you've been involved in musical theater for a very long time. So what has been your favorite role to play?
Elle Woods, 100%.
My goodness.
I played Elle Woods my senior year of high school, which was in 2019. I'll be a junior this upcoming fall, but it was an experience I will never forget. I graduated from Pebblebrook High School in their performing arts program and their magnet performing arts program. And, it's really hard to get lead roles there.
Yeah.
And I was so honored to receive that role.
Yeah.
Out of my magnet program, I think like 400 people auditioned.
Wow.
And it was narrowed down to, probably 50 people in the callback room, and I was the lucky gal to get it.
That is incredible.
So, we even had Bruiser in the like the real live little Bruiser in the bag. It was just the cherry on top of my senior year.
That is incredible. That's an awesome role to play too. That's incredible. So if you could play any role, what would it be?
Oh, I would love to play Elle on Broadway.
Of course. Yeah.
I love all musical theater. I had the opportunity to travel to New York with my high school 3 times. We actually took trips to New York and took master classes in the city with industry professionals.
That's
and
incredible.
We got to see 6 or 7 Broadway shows while we were there. So I got to see the Cher show, which is all about Cher and her life.
Oh my word.
It's one of my favorite musicals that I've ever seen. It's very new. It's not on Broadway anymore, but
yeah.
I don't think I can sing like Cher as much as I try in my car. But I would love to play, I'd love to play Cher. I'd love to be
so cool.
Mamma Mia. There's so many roles.
It's so hard to decide that question. When I get asked that question, I go blank, because there's so many good characters, and they're all so different.
I know.
So have you been able to attend school in person this year?
So I was my first semester. We did a hybrid learning. So first week, 1 week we were in person. The next week we were online. But for financial reasons and things like that, I've actually been home this semester online.
Okay. Yeah.
and also just because I'm sure, as you know, you do musical theater. It's so hard to personally for me, one, stay motivated and engaged
Yeah.
over Zoom and take dance classes, acting classes, vocal lessons, and my major is
Yeah.
musical theater. So I spoke with my mom and I was like, I don't think I'll be ready to compete and take on the job if I were to be given the job of Miss Georgia if I'm up in New Jersey, in my teeny tiny 2x4 dorm room.
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
so I actually took the semester from home, which I am very glad that I did. I bought myself a new car. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm very excited about that. So I feel very, very fortunate that I actually got to go back in the fall. Uh,
Yeah.
but I think that it was the best choice for me to, take it from home. This
Yeah. And I love how you made that decision, even though it was kind of hard because, it is a lot better in person. But, it just shows how dedicated you are to this organization and to your work with your platform. So, why did you get involved with musical theater?
So I started off as a dancer, just like solely a dancer. My
Oh,
mom
wow.
growing up was a ballerina, did that for her whole life. So I was in ballet since the age of 3. I didn't become involved in musical theater till I was 13 or 14, I think. And so I went to church and was involved with the youth group and everything. And so they were producing a musical. It was, a little musical that they had written, the director had
Hmm.
written. It was called Happily Ever After. And I wanted to audition. So my mom was like, okay, she can't sing. She'll just, be in the ensemble, whatever. I go and audition and you could sing either Happy Birthday or Amazing Grace. So I chose Amazing Grace. I already knew it.
Hmm.
So I sing, and I get the lead. And
Wow.
I come home, show my mom, my script and what role I have. I was probably like 10 and she was so confused. She was like astounded that I got the lead. So she called the director and was like, why does Carly have the lead? She can't sing.
Oh,
And
my
the
word.
director was like, she can. And so my mom was just completely flabbergasted. And so she showed up to opening night. We only did, one show, it was
Yeah.
church, and realized I could sing. And then my uncle is actually an actor in Atlanta, and so he had connections with the vocal teacher, and so he hooked me up with some voice lessons. And from then on, I still have a passion for ballet and dance, but it evolved into musical theater, and now I'm doing it as a career. So
Wow. Well, thank the Lord you auditioned for that show because you definitely have a God-given gift.
thank
So,
you.
who is your role model?
My biggest role model is Kristen Chenoweth. I actually got to meet her.
Oh, my word,
Yeah,
lucky.
she had a concert. This was when I was in high school. She had a concert in Atlanta, and I was in a group called Company for like my junior and senior year of high school, and so believe it or not, Terry Chandler with the Miss Cobb County Board got us tickets, and so we went, and we to make it fair, my high school director, he, did a drawing of numbers. And of
Hmm.
course, so we, like only an X amount of people were able to go meet her. And so, of course, I'm hoping it's me. And they didn't
Hmm.
pick me. And I was so
Oh.
upset that my best friend Hoke gave me his number and he was like, you can go meet her. And
Oh.
I was like, are you sure? Like, you don't have to do this. Like, but he knew so much. Like, I idolized her. So, we see her in concert or whatever. And so we go backstage and I'm freaking out with all my friends back there. And so we walk up to her and, she is just like 5'2", like dynamite. It's like teeny weeny compared to me. And, I'm in my whole like, pageant girl. Everybody
Yeah.
made fun of me when I would come to school with spray cans and,
Same.
I always had, they always were like, oh, here comes Carly with her homecoming attire or whatever. So I walked up to Kristen and she immediately was like, I love your dress. Where did you get it? And I was like, it was actually my mom's. And she was like, well, I love it. And I was like, you can have it.
Oh, my word.
I was like, you can have it. So I have idolized her ever since I can remember. I think that she is, a stellar performer.
Absolutely.
She can do whatever she wants. She can sing anything from comedy musical theater to opera to, uh, a good old jazz song. Yeah, she's just overall just a well-rounded performer, and I actually am singing Glitter and Be Gay as my talent because of her.
Oh my word. Well, you are going to do an incredible job, and that's so awesome. You got to meet her. She truly, and I look up to her too. She is just so multi-talented, for real.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Yeah. So, last question, what advice would you give your younger self?
Oh goodness. When growing up, I really compared myself to others a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that being in the Miss America organization has really taught me to, like I talked about before, staying in my own lane.
Mm-hmm.
I would, tell younger Carley to, not focus on everybody else, focus on you and become confident in yourself, because I think that a lot of times younger kids, and especially in middle school, I would say, and in early high school, like to compare themselves to others and, worry about what Sally's wearing or what Joe did with so-and-so, So I think that it's a valuable tool to learn to hone in on you and not focus on other people.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And, it's so easy, especially with social media, to just scroll through and just look at what everybody else is doing and compare yourself. But the truth is, we were all made uniquely different. And if we were all the same, then we couldn't grow. Thank you so much for joining me today. You truly have a heart of gold, and I know so many people are going to be blessed by what you had to say. So I will see you very soon, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Carley. I'll see you soon.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed getting to know Carley and just the light that she is, the positivity she brings to this world. If you want to follow her on her journey, you can follow her on Instagram at Miss Cherokee Rose 2021. Thank you for listening to the Be a Light podcast. Join us every week for a new episode.